Some days you sleep 8 hours and still wake up like lead foggy head, hit snooze 3 times, and you're still dragging yourself out of bed. Then on another day you sleep 5 or 6 hours, open your eyes, and you're suddenly sharp, clear mind, lighter body. If you felt that paradox, like the video and subscribe right now to keep watching, because the answer isn't try to sleep more. It's hidden in the exact moment you get pulled awake. But what is that moment you've been taught to think sleep is like charging a battery? The longer you charge, the fuller it gets. 8 hours becomes a life standard, so when you do it and still feel awful, it feels like betrayal. Your brain loves simple formulas because they make decisions easier. But sleep doesn't behave like a container you fill up. It behaves like a rhythm, down and up, down and up. While you're counting hours, your brain is counting cycles. And when you measure the wrong thing, you blame yourself. You tell yourself you're lazy, undisciplined, and you force the rule, I have to sleep enough. The more you force it, the tighter your mind gets, and the harder sleep becomes. But your body doesn't care how long you want to sleep. It only cares where you get yanked awake inside the biological loop running underneath. That's why the same number of hours can feel completely different. And tomorrow morning, that cut point will show itself again. Here's the paradox: sometimes less sleep feels better, not because you're special, but because you accidentally woke up at the right phase. Night isn't a straight line, it's a loop. Inside that loop, there's a period when your body does deep repair, a period when your brain processes emotions, and a period when you're naturally close to waking. If you get dragged out at the wrong point, adding one more hour can actually make you feel worse. So more isn't always better. You can see this in naps. A 20-minute nap can save your entire afternoon, but a longer nap can leave you dizzy and heavy. It's not that naps are bad. It's that you woke up at the bottom of the loop instead of the edge. Waking at the bottom creates sleep inertia. Your eyes are open, but your alertness system hasn't switched on yet, and you assume you're missing sleep time. In reality, you're missing the right timing. So what decides whether you hit the bottom or step out on the edge? Sleep is organized into repeating cycles, often close to 90 minutes each. It's not a perfect clock, but it's a map you go down, then up, then down again. Each cycle moves through light sleep, deep sleep, and REM. How you feel in the morning depends on where you were cut off on that curve. While you're trying to extend hours, your body is trying to complete a loop. At the start of the cycle is light sleep. Your heart rate slows, your muscles loosen, your brain quiets down, but you're still easy to wake. If you wake here, you usually feel slightly groggy but recover quickly because your alertness system never shut off deeply. That's why some mornings you can wake up fine even on less sleep. But your body goes deeper, and a short time later, everything changes. Deep sleep is when your body prioritizes recovery and your brain reduces responsiveness to the outside world. If you get pulled awake here, you move like a computer that had its power cord yanked mid-update. That heavy, disoriented feeling is sleep inertia. Consciousness turns on, but the biological foundation underneath hasn't caught up yet. It's not weakness. You were interrupted mid-process. And that's why snooze doesn't buy you rest. It just stretches out the worst part. Then comes REM, where your brain processes emotions and organizes memory. REM is often lighter than deep sleep, so waking here can feel better, though sometimes scattered. But the key detail is this: the end of REM is often the natural exit door of the cycle, where your body is already prepared to shift phases. When you step out through that door, you can feel surprisingly awake. The problem is, are you being pulled awake before the door or after it? The ideal point is the edge of the cycle when you're rising from REM back toward light sleep. Your alertness system is already warming up. That's why 7.5 hours can feel better than 8. 7.5 might close clean cycles, while 8 can drop you into the middle of a new one. You think you gained more sleep, but you actually cut into a process again. You thought the extra hour would save you. Your body experienced it like a bad interruption, and you can't control the exact minute you fall asleep. There's always some delay, often 10 to 20 minutes, and it shifts with stress. Sleep tracking also shows cycles vary night to night. So don't treat 90 minutes like a rigid stopwatch. Treat it like a compass. It won't give perfect coordinates, but it helps you avoid random mid-cycle wake-ups. And tonight, you can use that compass to choose a better starting point. But there's another trick. Sometimes you wake at the right edge and still feel irritated and heavy because of how you were woken. A harsh alarm in a dark room throws your body into a threat response, like something dangerous just happened. Heart rate jumps, tension rises, but your consciousness didn't get a gentle, soft start, so you feel both awake and exhausted at the same time. You think it's lack of sleep. It's actually shock awakening. And there's a way to let your body open the door before the alarm starts yelling. If light gradually increases before you wake, your brain receives the signal it's morning and starts shifting toward alertness earlier, instead of being jolted upward all at once. Then the alarm becomes the final click, not the first punch. And right after you open your eyes, the fastest way to ruin your day usually isn't no coffee. It's your phone throwing high-information chaos into a brain whose attention system is still thin. A little gentle movement and a few minutes of outdoor light helps your nervous system switch on in the right direction. Waking up isn't jumping up. It's letting your body turn on. Even if you hit the right edge of the cycle, you can still lose if your night gets chopped into pieces. Screen light, a hot room, late caffeine, alcohol, or anxiety can slice into REM and deep sleep. When that happens, your exit door becomes blurry, and waking feels bad no matter what. That's why you can lie in bed for 8 hours and still feel like you only slept half. The problem isn't that you slept too little, it's that your sleep got shredded. Now you've seen the mechanism. The wake phase determines the feeling. But if you only obsess over counting cycles, you'll still miss it because you're fixing the end while ignoring the beginning. Cycles only create a clean exit door when the entire night is stable enough for the rhythm to rise and fall properly. That means you don't need longer sleep. You need conditions that let sleep follow its curve. So what are the minimum conditions that make the paradox true? When less sleep feels better, actually works. Two things are happening. You wake near the edge of a cycle, and your night stays clean enough for REM and deep sleep to stay intact. That comes from a few fundamental stop screens earlier. Keep the room dark and cool. Don't bring unfinished work onto the pillow. Add gradual morning light, and your body shifts phases smoothly. When those conditions are met, 6 hours can feel lighter than 8. While most people chase longer, you're chasing cleaner. But the paradox fails if you use it to justify chronic sleep deprivation. One 5-hour night can feel okay if you wake at the right point. But deep sleep and REM debt still accumulates. And that debt doesn't always show up as obvious sleepiness. It shows up as irritability, cravings, weaker focus, a vague, anxious edge. You still believe you're functioning fine because the brain is good at masking decline. Then a few weeks later, good timing stops saving you at all. So the real boundary is design, not guessing. Take the time you need to wake up. Count backward in 4 or 5 cycles, and get into bed about 15 minutes earlier to account for sleep latency. If you need to wake at 6 or 0 a.m., bedtimes like 10:30 p.m. or 12 or 0 a.m. often give you 5 or 4 relatively complete cycles. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to avoid the middle of a loop. Discipline isn't forcing yourself earlier, it's avoiding the wrong cut. The old path is extension sleep in more. Snooze more. Wait for coffee to rescue you. Then blame yourself for still feeling awful. The new path is precision aim for the edge of the cycle. Keep the night clean enough for complete loops, and let your body transition gently into wakefulness. It sounds like optimization, but it's really respect for rhythm. You're not forcing more sleep. You're helping your body sleep right. So where do you start? Here's the freeing truth: sleep rewards rhythm, not time spent lying down. You can be in bed for 8 hours and still collect broken cycles. And you can sleep 6 hours, hit enough depth, enough REM, and step out through the right door. Once you understand that, self-blame drops away. You weren't undisciplined. You were using the wrong ruler. While you kept trying harder, what you needed was a better measurement. Tonight, choose the time you must wake up tomorrow. From there, choose 4 or 5 cycles backward and get into bed about 15 minutes earlier. One change. And if you can add one more thing, let light help you leave sleep. Crack your curtains so morning light can enter, or use a sunrise alarm that brightens gradually. The goal isn't to wake up shocked, it's to wake up at the right phase. Tomorrow morning, your body will answer clearly. And if tomorrow feels lighter, don't call it luck. You just woke up at the cycle's exit door. Try it for 3 days in a row with the same calculation and track how alert you feel. If you want me to keep breaking down common sleep illusions, especially why you keep waking at the same time each night, and how to cut the thinking loop before bed, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. In the next video, I'll show you how to lock your brain down before you get into bed, so you fall asleep deeper and faster.